Hello, my name is Jacob Jones, and welcome to What You've Been Nerding Out On, or WYBNOO. Today I'm joined by Nave from Gaming Together podcast, who has really been nerding out on streaming, content creation, and getting into PC gaming. So let's get straight into their introduction. Nave, who are you? Where do you come from? And what do you do?
I hail from the deep lands of Oklahoma, where tornadoes and winds destroy everything. Literally, I was recording a podcast yesterday, and half of the show, I was like glancing out my window because the tornado sirens were going off. It was awesome. I was like, dude, I'm about to traumatize this lady that I'm talking to. I feel really bad.
Dude, the homie Arturo, you guys probably know him if you watch any of our shit. He was like, he's put out a tweet. He's like, don't know if I have enough time for another Elden Ring Night Rain run when I have a tornado warning. Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
She's from California, and she was like, it's Emily from No Small Games, and she was like, the thought of a tornado is the most horrifying thing ever, and you're just thugging it out over there. I'm just like, I'm on the second floor. I don't care. It'll be all right.
Tornado's gonna smash the apartment below us, but up here we're untouchable.
It'll be like that picture. Have you seen that famous picture after the bombings in Japan during World War II
Yeah.
with this arch? There's like this arch that's just standing and everything else is rubble around it. It's like an awesome, iconic picture. But yeah, that's going to be my apartment. It'll be
Nice.
like in Minecraft when you kill the tree at the bottom,
Oh
but like
yeah,
the rest of the tree's floating.
they're just like a floating like something up
Yeah,
there.
a
Creepy.
lot less morbid example. Like,
Creep. So you're saying you're not a sand tile because those would fall.
yeah, absolutely not. And what is it,
Or a
gravel
block?
too? I hate that shit.
Fucking gravel, always burying you. You know what I'm saying?
Looking like cobblestone.
Bastards.
Piece of crap.
He'll get you that flint though. Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Gotta dig through it. Awesome. And what do you do? What do you do in this world?
Oh yeah, that was part of the question. I do quite a bit of things.
Hmm.
Every month I'm hyper fixated on a new thing. So this month I'm decided I'm going to be a music reaction channel. So I made a new YouTube channel, Guitar Tearo, and I've just been every day for the month of June reacting to different albums that people are requesting of me. So I'm doing a lot of different genres. So I did a soul album with Sade, and I did Kendrick Lamar's GMX. I did an Offspring album. So I haven't. There's not a lot of videos there now because June
Hmm.
just started for people keeping track. So there's only a couple of videos on there, but
Yeah.
normally what I do is I've been running a podcast called Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast for a very long time. Just recently, it used to be a two-guy ordeal, and just recently he stepped down, so it's just me running it. But it's basically the same show where we just kind of bullshit for an hour and then talk about a game. And other than that, I've been streaming,
Yeah.
also on Guitar Hero.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's great. We'll make sure to get a link to that, all that stuff. Your podcast feed and your YouTube and Twitch, all in the description below. Check that out. We'll go over that again at the end as well. Good shit. Streaming's fun. It's hard to get a podcast together and to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? But that's the
Yeah.
topic today. It's all about making content. It's all about streaming, right? That's a big thing you're getting into right now. And then just having a PC. So really excited for all that fun stuff. So let's start talking about it right now. So why don't you talk to me about it? What you got? Why you been nerding out about it?
Um, I don't know. I think I'm just scared of being alone with my thoughts. So I just gotta every moment of silence I need to like engage with something.
Hmm.
So it could have been anything. I don't know if you've watched the anime Frieren, but it's like it didn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
magic.
Yeah.
Could have been anything. But
Right.
I just really like communicating with people. Even though I'm not terrific at it. I just like hearing what other people have to say and like engaging with new things and like doing the music reaction thing. I kind of felt a little cringe when I first started doing it. You know what I mean? I still kind of feel a little cringe because it's like a lot of people see reaction content as very low tier content, and in a way they're right. but at the same time, it opens a door to like just random people. Like I've
Yeah.
random comments of people saying like, "Oh, this is like I used to surf and listen to
Mhm.
the Offspring and just hear you talk about the chord progression in whatever song." It's like it's so interesting, like just randomly being able to connect with these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people I never would have been able to before.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that you're talking about right now is why specifically I've been wanting to do the podcast you're currently on, because that's like literally the reason. Like, I want people to come on here and just tell me about the shit they're into. And it's really fun doing content stuff because I do get to meet so many people. Like, if I wasn't doing this stuff, I wouldn't know you, and we wouldn't be sitting here talking. And the same goes with all the people that I talk to these days. So totally can relate to that. And when it comes to reaction content, no matter how much time and energy you put into like any other thing, reaction content is like times 10 engaging, because especially because I believe YouTube just like the algorithm pushes it to people like, oh, are you into something? All right, let me find the easiest like video to watch on that thing. Oh, it's someone just fucking listening to it and then talking about it. And like, yeah, dude, every time we do a reaction to a trailer or whatever, it's like instead of the 15 views, we'll get like 300. It's like crazy. And it is fun to produce too, right? Like, I mean, we all like
Yeah.
giving our opinions. It's basically you're just like, hey, you know what? Fucking, I absolutely love Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. That is an excellent vinyl. Let's go through all the tracks. Like, that would be a fun show to do, basically,
Yeah.
especially because podcast is like, or excuse me, music is one of those things that everyone likes. Like, if you meet someone out there who's like, I don't like music, that you're gonna look at that person and be
Love
like,
them watch
you're not a
list.
human. You're not a human. You're a murderer. You probably kill dogs.
Yeah, that's the guy's from the Men in Black. He's one of those. He's one of those aliens that are working at the
Yeah.
post office. Underneath the fucking the box.
Oh,
Oh wait,
exactly.
no, that's not true. Because that dude was listening to music when he was doing it.
That's
I just
true,
remember that scene. Yeah. So
dude.
even aliens.
Even Timothy McVeigh was listening to fucking like, oh my god, what's that song? Simple Man by Simple Man on the record
Yes.
Simple Man.
Yeah, the album. Oh man.
You know what I mean? People have bad taste, but everyone likes music and everyone likes watching the trailer. So I'm just saying, you don't feel weird about it. Everyone's doing that kind of content because it's fun, it's easy, and it's a good time. Putting
Yeah.
together a podcast is a whole other deal. That's a lot. It can be, right?
It is. It's extremely tough because you have to like wrangle a bunch of people and like try and like, or it depends on what the podcast is about, because there's a lot of shows that are just kind of yapping to my elbow, but like and that's half of my show, to be fair. But like once I get to like the review, I've never thought of myself as like a games critic, even though I am critical of games, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And so the biggest problem, my biggest hurdle is I do not value my opinion whatsoever. And so it's hard to wrap my brain around other people valuing that. But like you got to just kind of like push through that. Kind of like how I'm pushing through the cringe of like, oh, reactors, people, they get a lot of shit. And I've already started getting shit too for reaction content. But like you just got to keep pushing through and you'll find those diamonds, you know what I mean? You'll
Dude,
find like really fun conversations you can have.
if you're getting shit from people, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
What's the funny thing is, so I post a lot of those videos on Reddit, and which is that's scary. Like Reddit really hates self promotion for some reason. But
Yeah,
like
you're not supposed to do that on Reddit.
I didn't get any pushback until the Sade video, which was kind of strange because that was the smallest subreddit as well.
Hmm.
But at the same time, that one post has the most upvotes, but it's the only one that has like a thread of people talking shit to me.
Yeah.
And I was just chill. I was just like, yeah, whatever, like whatever you guys. I want to talk to all of the people underneath you, that all these other people that are interacting with me and trying to get
Yeah.
me to listen to another Sade album. They're like, that's probably like the thing that confused me the most, is that so many people will just be like, oh, now listen to this and listen to this and listen to this, and it very rapidly, like,
Oh yeah.
the list is long now suddenly, very fast,
Always.
and I didn't think about that.
It really can be, and then that's when you create like Discord and you get together like a queue, and then you have a Patreon of like, oh, you know, you subscribe to my Patreon, and then you guys can decide what's the next album I talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could see the fucking marketing like walk up the ladder. You know, for I don't know. That's how my brain is. Like no matter what happens, I'm like, all right, I'm solving the problem. All right, I'm figuring out how it can work. All right, I'm thinking about the production. You know, the thing that's hardest with all this shit is selling yourself and advertising. So having the balls to go on Reddit and post your own content. You're not supposed to do that shit, Nave. But you have the
Yeah.
balls, and you're like, I don't care. Look at my shit. You don't like me? It's in front of you. You already looked at it. Guess what? I win.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't. I think it would be worse if I wasn't in the comments like right away. Like the moment someone comments, I comment right away and try to be positive, like
Yeah.
no matter what. Which has been easy because most people are like, "Oh, dude, if you like this album, you got to listen to Pimp a Butterfly." And I'm just like, "You're right," because that is actually like really high up on the list. I really want to watch. It's like so many music is so inherently unique that people just love watching other people experience it. And I know that because I engage, it's my guilty pleasure, but I actually really love reaction content. And a lot of people don't like to admit it, but like especially if I'm like drinking and I just want to listen to music, or if I'm at work, I'll look up, hey, Toxicity System of a Down album reaction, because I just want to listen to that album. But I would love to have someone just talking over it at the same time, and it makes me feel like someone's in the mail truck with me.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
sad, but like
No.
that's like something that's a real vector for reaction
I
content.
mean, literally, dude, like, that's why people listen to podcasts. So it's like, you're just listening to people talk, and you're talking back to them. You know, I am. I'm like, haha, good one. You know, and then you form the parasocial relationship. You know, it's all part of it. Like, yeah, like, just listening to music is fine when you want to grind shit out. But, like, I typically want to hear people talking. I want to laugh, you know, like, you want to feel engaged with other human beings. And that's why that content works for people. You know what I mean? Like, I guess
Yeah,
unless you have people to talk to about shit like that. And even then, like that's actually talking. That's not like I'm working and I'm just trying to like get through the day and listen to someone talk about Nirvana Nevermind or something, right? Almost like it sounds like what you're doing is like the commentary track on like an old, you know, movie DVD or something.
oh my god, this is slightly off topic, but during the PlayStation showcase, did you see the Mortal Kombat
I
collection?
did.
And it's gonna have all the commentary and shit, like the
That's cool.
oh my god, I think we're tapping into something here because I love director's commentary and all of that. I
Yeah.
love reaction content, so
Yeah.
maybe this is just like my lane.
Well, I mean, it's good to hear people that have like a little bit more of a learned point of view on something, like break shit down,
Yeah,
or like, oh, here's a fun fact about this. Oh, did you know, like during the scene in Jaws, they actually they're drunk when they shot that scene. Like that wasn't them actually not like pretending to be drunk, like they were actually shit faced. And I don't even know if that's
yeah,
true, but I'm just saying, like, you hear stuff like that on a commentary track and you're like, that's really cool. Or you listen to a reactor talk about something, they're like, oh, maybe they're talking about movies by the director, like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to learn those things from people as well. Like, and then sometimes I feel like people just like reactors because they have a bad opinion and they want to get mad at people and like shit talk, you know? So like there's also the negative engagement, which is still
yeah,
good.
dude.
It's still positive because engagement is everything.
So reacting is half of the videos. The other half is I'm ranking the songs compared to each other. So like this is my favorite song, and then number two, three, four, five, and I am waiting to just completely trigger somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just like, Paranoid Android is my favorite song on the OK. I just did OK Computer from Radiohead. It's like Paranoid Android is the best song, and I'm like, every time I go back to Spotify and look at the downloads, and I'm afraid because when I did the Sade video, my second favorite song was like the least liked song on the album by like double. Like I was like really unpopular with that. And also, I was calling her Sadie the entire video because
Oh,
I
that's
didn't know how
even
to pronounce
worse.
her.
You're
Yeah.
fucking up,
Luckily,
bro.
no one ate my ass for that. But
Yeah. Yeah, mispronouncing stuff is hilarious. So let's turn back the clock a little. Like, you know, your first dipping your toe into this kind of shit, like making content, podcasting? Like, where did it all start?
Oh, okay. So this is actually before Gaming Together. This
Mm.
was partially why Philip wrangled me up. I think so. I don't even know if he knew about this. So I used to make YouTube videos, and
Oh,
before I did that, I wrote walkthroughs for a website called True Achievements.
oh, nice.
And so whenever I would write a walkthrough, I wanted to put a video in the walkthrough so that if people didn't want to read my giant verbose, uh, but ramblings.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to use someone else's video because I didn't want someone to like come to me later and be like, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought people would be like, why did you use that video and like pretend it's yours? I didn't want people to think that.
Yeah,
So I just made my own video with my own walkthrough. I use my own walkthrough to make my videos. And then
nice.
um where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so yeah, those videos they're on my old YouTube channel, which is abandoned, called Army of Nave.
Mm.
And
Mm.
those videos have like tens of thousands of views for
Wow.
some of them. And so they did really well. But like I was saying before, I've quit more things than most people have ever started. And so I got like 8 videos in, and I was like, all right, I'm good, I did it. And then I just fucked off to do something else that was way, way less successful than that.
Yeah.
I still get fucking messages that are like, are you gonna make... I think I got a comment just today. I haven't made a walkthrough in like 11 years, and someone just commented on my Abzu walkthrough. It was like, oh, this is a great video, thank you. And
Hey,
it's so weird.
but that's just how it works, dude. Like, I tried to reinvent the whole own Jesus thing a few times, and like, it doesn't work. People are like, no, you're own Jesus, man. You just have to be that guy. And I'm like, all right, fine. Cause like, I used to produce music. And so like some of my old tracks are still on my channel that like had tens of thousands of views, whatever, back in the day. And that was cool. But then, I kind of, that whole world got wild back at, this was like 2012 to like
Yeah.
2015 times when like, it was just a bunch of toxic DJ bros in Vegas, and like I showed up with my own tracks that were awesome, and everyone treated me like shit, and so I noped out, and
Dude,
then
I
I was
get it.
like, I'm gonna learn how to make music, and so I spent time like learning how to like do professional shit, and I fully burned myself out. You know what I'm saying? So like that's part of it. Like I think that whatever level of success you have, it's like, but are you doing what you want? And like some people can be like, fuck it, I'll just keep at it. Like I'll be these weird dolls, like the Lulu doll, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm talking
No.
about? You know what I'm talking about? You know about the Lulu
Look it up.
Lulu? I'll look it up. But anyway, like what if you were like you just did one TikTok where you had a Lulu doll and then you get a lot of
Oh
engagement.
man.
So then you go, oh, well, I guess I better make more Lulu doll fucking content. And then all of a sudden you're now like a Lulu influencer and then you hate it. But then people keep doing that.
Yo, audience capture, man. Yeah, I'm so afraid of audience capture, and I feel like I've been pretty immune to it relatively because I'm just naturally a contrarian, and I just like not being in the popular side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But so I only have a couple videos, but that Kendrick Lamar video has randomly started like doing really well,
Well,
like
of
really well
course.
compared to all the other ones.
It's because
And
he's big. He's fucking a big name right now. Like,
yeah, he's
that's
killing it.
why. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that is why. And
100%.
so, but there's a lot of comments that are like, "Oh, I can't wait for you to continue your Kendrick Lamar journey." And I was like, I was gonna react to MF Doom tomorrow, but like maybe I'll do Kendrick next. I don't know. Like I'm already
It
thinking about it. Like
starts to
I'm
influence
disappointing
you.
these people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how it always works. I mean, not saying anything, but I always see patterns. But this is how cult leaders work. And I'm not saying you're starting a cult. I'm not, there's no derogatory stuff here, but I just always have that in my brain. But it's like when a cult leader starts a cult, they're like fucking they're popular with a small group of people, and as it grows, more people start to like pile on and influence the guy, and to keep it going, they have to keep going in the direction that the group it pushes them into. And I think there's something to that with human nature. Again, not saying you're going to be like an evil cult leader or anything like that, but I'm just saying I
Clip
think that
this for the future.
I just think that there is something to human nature that way, where, you know, we are like a herd. We're like fucking, you know, we're like clans, you know what I'm saying? And you just kind of follow, you're either in or you're out. I mean, and that's especially true with content creation and stuff. But hey, you know, just don't lose sight of yourself. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
sounds like you're already in a good position. So, how did Gaming Together podcast start? So your buddy after that hit you up and it was like, let's just do a podcast.
Yeah, so Philip, he's my best friend from high school. Basically, I
Okay.
lived with him. He's basically my brother, and
Nice.
throughout high school, and we go in and out of each other's lives quite a bit. And so he randomly came back into my life when he was doing his military. He's in the military and he was changing jobs to like a computer or something. And it's sad how little I know about this. But so it's like he was doing something about computers, but it was during COVID, and so he was quarantined in a hotel. And so he was like, Nave, do you wanna play Halo? And I'm like, well, yeah, I always want to play Halo. And so we started playing Halo a little bit, and he's always been listening to podcasts for the longest time. Like back in the day when Rooster Teeth was like doing their podcast, like brand new and everything. He's been on like the front lines of that.
Nice.
And he'd try to show me it, and I'd just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, and go back to listening to Avenged Sevenfold or I don't want to listen to people talk.
Yeah.
Crazy. I specifically remember he sat me down and he was like, hey, because I think we had just played a co-op game. I don't remember what it was, but he was like, we need to do a specific podcast about co-op games. And I was like, that's a terrible idea. Not only does no one want to hear people talk, but there's like 12 co-op games total in all of gaming. Like I genuinely had like I couldn't fathom the breadth of co-op out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 years later and we're still doing it. And it's like there's still so many games. I have this giant spreadsheet that people are like, I show it to people whenever I want guests on, and they're like, these are the 3 games I want. And I'm just like, God, you couldn't pick one? Like, it's like, there's so many fucking games out there.
There's a lot.
And they're still coming out.
I mean, Night Rain.
Yeah, dude. I need to do it soon.
It's
and
hot.
are you going to be on it?
Oh,
you
100%. 100% I'll be on that one. Yeah.
I'm afraid that one's going to be a shit show, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to be on it. Well, it's going to be awful to edit.
We'll see. If there's too many people, I'll be like, read this note. I'm going to send you a note.
Sliding me a note.
Cool. Yeah. So I was on your podcast once. I do remember we did a Am I the Asshole segment, which was pretty funny. You know?
Yeah. Also Philip's idea. All the good ideas from the show are Philip's ideas.
Well, you got to have like segments and all that stuff. I mean, we used to do Neon Pocket Dimension like that way with a lot of segments. And I just felt like it would just take so damn long, and I just wanted to get to the point, and it kind of tore us apart. And so, you know, that's why we were like,
yeah,
we got to stop doing that. We got to do like less of one thing and more of a lot of things. And that's kind of how we branched out. You know what I'm saying? And
that was one of the things that me and Philip would argue about as well. That's the thing. A huge thing with content creation with multiple people is that you're going to start fighting with each other no matter how much you like each other. And
yeah.
The problem with me is I'm so goddamn stubborn that like I will never relent for a lot of different things. I just don't like change, even if the change is good. And so, one time, me and Philip were arguing about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Twitter and like all the different social medias. I'm gonna be like, hey, what is your least favorite part of the show? Or something like that, or like, what is your favorite part? And so, not your least favorite, but I was looking for whatever got the least votes, and I was like, the Am I the Asshole section, the review, the banter, and something else. It doesn't matter, because the review got the least, and I was just like, what do you think, Philip?
Yeah.
Are we cutting the review?
Yeah, it's like, so the point of the podcast people don't like, they like all the other bullshit. So like, why are
Yeah,
we doing this? Yeah, exactly.
it's
It can feel that
hilarious.
way. Yeah. And it's like with Neon Baka Dimension, like that was a really fun show to do. But like I kind of wanted to originally do this show essentially as that show, and we turned that show into like a gaming show. And I was just like, we're not really like talking about nerdy shit. We're just like covering Sony state of plays and like Xbox news and shit. And I'm like, that's great, but like, let's do that on another channel, and then let's do this over here, and like, it's working out really good, and it looks like you're
Yeah.
branching out a little too and doing your own thing, which is great. Like, you got to stay sane. Like the way I see it is like, if there's something that you're not as into, like, why are you still doing it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still doing your show, which is great, and I'm sure that like it's now at a place where like you're having fun with it. I mean, you said your friend stepped away, so I don't know exactly how that's like changed the podcast. I mean,
Um,
what's going on with your show now?
so when Philip stepped back, I don't know, because he stepped back the episode after our 5th anniversary. So I was like, okay, well, if we're gonna change, I would like to change, and that will help me cope with the change, because I am
Yeah,
already like, okay, when things are slightly different, I might as well clean the entire house if I'm just gonna clean like mop the floor. You know what I mean?
100% understand and agree. Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, so I decided I also wanted people who just casually listen to not just be completely like thrown way off. So I was like, there's a new like logo, there's a new intro, which I honestly I'm open to getting a different intro. I just threw that together in Fruity Loops in like 20 minutes, and I was
Yeah,
like, this is fine. Whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
Um which you're in the intro. I don't know if you heard the new
I did
intro,
hear.
but
Yeah, and I
okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was from our
It,
fucking repo game that we played that one day.
Hell yeah, man. So the problem when I was making the intro, I guess this is content creation too, like
It's
making
all
music,
part of
but
it. Yeah, it's all part of it.
so when I was making it, I just wanted clips where funny things were happening from the show, but I got a couple of stream clips as well. And then as I was doing it, I was like, well, I kind of want Jono from Elder Trolls to be represented in here, and I kind of want Nick from Friday Night Game Guy. Like, I just started putting people from like that interact with our show a lot in there, and then it became like 3 minutes long. And so that's like a really long intro, and I didn't realize that. So you were one of the first people I sent it to, and I was like, "Hey, can you help me?" And that was one of your things. You were like, "Make it shorter."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no!"
I would cut each clip to like 3 seconds max, and then you're at like 1 minute max.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Even that feels kind of long.
What I ended up compromising with, I did end up cutting a lot of the clips, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I ended up compromising by the beginning of the intro is the only part at the beginning. So there's only like 15 seconds of it is at the beginning of each episode, which happens to be right as your part ends, basically. Yeah, so you're in every intro.
Oh, that's incredible. Thanks.
I have 2 break segments, and I took the voices out, so it's just that bass line in there, and
cool.
so that's good.
Yeah, you could also like do an outro that's like almost the same music, and just kind of take the stuff that's missing and just throw it in there.
Yeah, that's what I do. And so the intro music fades in slowly, and so all the part that's at the beginning is underneath while we're talking, while we're like, okay, goodbye, go fuck yourself, whatever.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
And then it gets really loud, so that like it's like barely audible, because that's another unfortunate side effect I didn't take into consideration, is that when your intro music has a bunch of yapping in it and it overlaps with us yapping in the podcast, it's like fucking it's unhearable.
Yeah,
like,
you're now garbling up the frequencies with that. Yeah, sweet. So yeah, glad to see it's still going. Looks like the last episode you did was Atomic Purple. And then Burger King Boys, Fable 3, Rocksmith, 2014.
One of my favorite parts of the show is just taking something stupid that happened and making it the title of the episode.
Yeah. My favorite thing
I don't think that helps the SEO.
But... No, it doesn't. But when it comes to like podcast feeds, like it's one thing if it's on YouTube, but podcast feeds, like no one's gonna find your shit. Like you are buried under 2 billion other podcasts
Dude.
that already are established. So it's like however you want your podcast to look and show up in any podcast feed, fuck it. You know, it's more about you giving people the link or saying, hey, here's my Linktree QR code. You know, can you subscribe to my podcast on Spotify? Like that's the way to get your podcasts out. So yeah, we also need to talk about your fucking thumbnails.
Oh God. Yeah. This was
so
also
good.
Philip's idea. And well, so okay, it wasn't Philip's idea. So we started a new show, which was Philip's idea, where we did video game soundtracks called Listening Together, and it was a monthly thing. But we ended up stopping because that turned out to be insane. That was so much more work than our normal show, and it was like a small thing that barely got any downloads in comparison to ours.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the thing is the first episode he did a like Chat GPT like. Or I don't even know if it was ChatGPT. He might have physically did this, but the Gorillaz album Demon Days, but it had the 4 starter Pokemon. So like Pikachu,
okay,
Squirtle,
that's cool.
Bulbasaur, it looks so good. And I was like, this is a great idea. So when we did the next one, I didn't tell him, but I don't remember what the second Listening Together episode was, but I made the art that was so basically it was a famous art for albums, and then I made it the video game related. So one of my favorite one, I just described it terribly, but one of my favorite ones was The Last of Us. We did The Last of Us soundtrack, and I did Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, but instead of that prism, it had the Fireflies logo on it, and I was just like, oh! And I was like, oh, it's so good. And then that's like the least downloaded fucking video of, or the least downloaded episode of like ours in general. It was depressing.
like
after that,
what the fuck?
Dude, yes.
The fuck is going on with this?
It took okay, so I just want to point out that you see the Bowser and the Waluigi, that is gay porn. I am cutting it very close with some of
oh my god,
I have that uncensored picture on my phone now.
Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, yeah. Papa Mario. You're banned from Mario's Mario Land 2.
The way that the thumbnails look now, it was trial and error for a while. But now I have it to where it's basically almost a 16:9 image on the top, and then everything, because podcast thumbnails are 1x1. They're squares, like Instagram pictures. Correct. But for videos like YouTube, they're 16:9, and so I that way I could crop a 16:9 version of it, and I don't have to do any extra work, which is just me being lazy. That's but awesome. It actually ended up making because now it's like, now I've got this black spot on the podcast thumbnail. What am I going to do with that? Oh, I can throw in random references. So it's like, I have no idea what I'm referencing for any of these. You picked like a hard thumbnail to remember, but
well, I just thought it was funny. Like you're like, what's his name? Yeah, fucking can't remember the name of that guy.
Majima.
Yes, Majima-san. Oh my god, they're just so funny. All right, what about this one? This is really low effort.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is Philip's fault. On this episode, he changed the date that we could record, and it was the day that I was drinking, and it was at like midnight. So I was very drunk. That episode is one that I'm very embarrassed of because I'm very drunk on it. But I didn't make the thumbnail because I think it was like relatively close to when we recorded as well, and so I just dropped the ball. Anytime you see a random picture like that, it's because I phoned it in.
Awesome. It's fine. You know, I have a podcast about like us starting sober and getting completely trashed by the end. I like literally have an entire podcast based around us being embarrassing and embarrassing ourselves like a bunch of drunk assholes called Odd Valley Tavern. You should definitely guest on there one day.
I should. I would like to fly out and just be there.
Oh yes,
that seems like something.
Yes,
that seems like something I need to do.
No, I've had Foxy Steve in studio and Mr. Hawks in studio. 2 awesome homies that I'm usually collaborating with. Still haven't had the 2 other Neon Pocket Boys here in Vegas yet, but like I feel like people like to come to Vegas, so if the
Yeah.
content creator friends out there want to like come and be in studio and do shit in studio, I love setting the studio up and doing a physical thing. Like we do it every March. We do a big St. Patrick's Day stream, which we have on our Odd Valley Studios channel. You can watch all of
I
the
was watching
segments.
the last time. Yeah,
Yeah,
but when I joined
crazy.
in, you guys were very drunk by the
Oh
time I
yeah,
joined in.
I
And I
believe it.
was like, I don't think they're gonna remember I was here.
We were
But you were
completely
happy I
wiped
was
out.
there.
Good. That's good. Yeah, so it's really fun to do in person stuff. Like that's how I started with this stuff. It all started with me, my friend Kevin, and Joy. I had a pillow. My phone was on top of the pillow, and I had like a doggy like trifold gate that I hung a comforter over, and I put like comforter pillows on top of that. So I
Yeah.
just made like a sound chamber, and we sat on the same side of a table like a cone, and just yelled into the chamber, and that's how we did our first episode. I brought it in and like edited the audio to make it sound good. Crazy.
Sound Chamber would be like a really good like stoner rock band.
Oh yeah.
Like a name, Sound
Sound
Chamber.
chamber.
Yeah, dude, it is just a wall of noise.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I've been getting into fucking sludge and shit. Like me some
Yeah, man.
sludge metal, baby.
I think you were just talking about what was the Black Sabbath song that was playing before
Oh
the
yeah,
stream started?
children of the something,
Of the
children of the
grave.
grave.
Got it.
I wanted to say
Look,
children of the nave, but that's
children.
not right. That's you. You're your name.
Yeah, those are my dogs.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see.
No, they're fuck. I don't know where they're at actually. They're
Yeah.
fucking somewhere.
Yeah. Well, at least not in the people can't see. They can't see. Yeah. So anyway, so the little thumbnail. I mean, hey, it's nice having Gage around. Obviously, as you can see, our presentation is always really good. We have the dope overlays, all the great art. Like he does all our stuff, thumbnails. But I do dabble with the thumbnails for Odd Valley Tavern, which is fun. I have this clip art website where I just download clip art, and then I just bring it into Photopea or Photopea, which is like free Photoshop online, and just make the thumbnails all stupid and hilarious, So it's always a good time to make your own thumbnails.
Yeah. It feels good because it's also like there is an art to making something look like you didn't put effort into it.
Yeah.
Like, that takes a lot of effort, unfortunately. And like you can in some of the thumbnails I can tell, like you can tell when I didn't actually didn't put effort into it. Like it looks like shit. Like the cropping is, or like the cutting out is bad, and like the people are not in line and stuff. It's like, okay, I fucked this one up, but
Yeah.
it's difficult.
No, for sure, dude. Fucking, I'm about to show you some of ours real quick. Yeah, see the wrestling one, that Easter one there.
It looks evil. That Easter one looks evil for some reason.
Yeah, of course it does.
I think it's the rabbit.
It's the big cross in the middle that's like covered in the blood of the innocent.
Yeah.
There's a time we did the Krampus D&D drinking game thing. This one right here, plastic surgery.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
It looks like Handsome Jack. It's like a female Handsome Jack.
It's the guy. Have you ever heard of Repo, the rock opera? It's the
No, I've
genetic
heard
opera, or
Repo,
whatever.
the video game.
Oh yeah, no,
It is kind of like an opera sometimes.
sort
depending
of,
on who
yeah.
you're playing with.
Yeah, just like all these, And then I used to make really busy ones too, like this one where we went to film them on. Good shit. So yeah, I feel like making thumbnails can be fun, But that's only one part of the whole process, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not necessary. There's a lot of podcasts that I don't want to say phone it in, because like that seems derogatory, but like you definitely don't need the thumbnails at all, because like a lot of the podcast catchers, they're tiny. Like I bet like probably 80%, I wouldn't say 80, like maybe like 65% of the people that listen to our show never even see the thumbnail. Like they don't even pay attention to, they don't notice that I got little dudes on the bottom.
It's possible, but at the same time, dude, honestly, like when you see a podcast and it has some image, you're like, this is real, and you see one and it's just like nothing and words. You're like, this shit ain't real. This is nothing.
This is ChatGPT.
This
This is robots talking to each other.
My fiance has just been saying that's AI. If it's something ridiculous, she's like, that's AI. No matter what it is, I love it.
Dude,
it's a meme around my house right now.
I have so many like verbal like tics now at this point. Like it's so bad. If anyone just says anything in a very serious tone, I'm like, well, that's something I'm gonna like. What I don't know if you remember because you and Alejandro were getting pretty wasted by the hour 8.
Oh, I was yelling at him the whole time because he's being hella annoying. He trolls me and then he like acts like I shouldn't be yelling at him.
The funny thing was that I would we would spawn and I'd go in there and I'd be like, this place is a dangerous place, and like you guys would either just ignore me, like, or you just be like, yeah, every place is dangerous, and I'm just like, but that's like a video I saw like 2 months ago that I quote now all the time.
Oh, I see. So you're like dropping lines.
Yeah, I'm dropping hot bars in the middle of Elden Ring.
That's like when I worked at In-N-Out, like we used to just, I mean, this was a long time ago. We used to quote like, movies of the time, like Napoleon Dynamite. It'd be like fucking if I would like make someone's burger for their break and I'd be like, Tina, come eat your food.
Yeah, I could throw this football over that mountain.
Yeah, man, that's a good movie. Again, this is why you need a soundboard, because you can have all those clips and you just press a button and it plays and it's funny. That's exactly why I do this shit.
It'd be easier than what I do, which is physically download a YouTube video and extract the audio and then put it in the God.
Dude, what I just trade secret, okay? I use OBS to record YouTube, and then I take that and edit out just the audio part I want, and then I put that into fucking what's it called? Audacity to then edit it and like, compress it and whatever I need to do. That's how I get all my samples. It's easy. Or
the way that I do it now is I screen record on my phone and then save that into Discord in a secret spot in my server.
Nice.
That my dead server that no one uses.
Am I in there? I think I'm in there.
Maybe.
I think
you might be. It's a pretty old server at this point.
It's an old code, but it checks out.
Yes,
that's Star Wars.
Is Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Cool. So let's talk a little bit more about what you got going on now. So we got Gaming Together. That's still kind of happening, but now you're streaming, right? And you just got a new computer.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
It was how it happened was I was getting fed up with my old mouse because the left click was dying, so it would like triple and quadruple click sometimes, and that makes it fucking a nightmare to edit, especially if you're like working on a 2-hour long timeline and like the edits you're trying to make are really small. And so I went to Best Buy with the intention of buying a mouse and just left with the computer because I have no impulse control.
Fuck yeah. That's what's up.
And the computer I got, it was like a $700 computer, but it came with a mouse and a keyboard, and I didn't know that. So I bought a mouse also, so that's annoying. But so it's probably like a $550 computer. You know what I mean? Like a pre-built. Okay. So it's like not decent, like the best computer. Yeah. But like it struggles when I edit a lot of video. Like it's suffering a little bit. But yeah, so I got this computer and I started trying to play PC games and everything. And then the idea of streaming kind of popped up into my mind. And the funny thing is this is around the time Philip was about to leave the podcast as well. And so he was going to recommend me to start streaming. And like he was like gonna like teach me how to set up OBS and stuff. But like meanwhile, he didn't even know that I was already like watching 30-minute long YouTube videos on how to just bare minimum the fucking stream. And then you eventually you were there for my first stream. Yeah. So you actually helped me set up a whole bunch of stuff. So
that's what I do.
Dude, it's so fucking helpful actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always here for that resource. It's like streaming is not that man, when I started streaming, dude, I would like I'm gonna go live, and then while I'm live, I'm like editing stuff, trying to figure shit out. I spent like the entire COVID thing just learning what everything meant and how to fix stuff and like how everything worked. Like if other people have to go through that, that's fucked up. I don't want them to deal with what I had to deal with. Like not having anything and just learning shit. Like fuck that. I'm like, no, I'll tell you what to do. Just let's get you started. Let's get you started, dude. You know? Because like, come on.
There's a foundation that you learn when you struggle through it, but some of it's unnecessary. Like when I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and sometimes there's a weird rules interaction, and people will be like, "Are you sure? Why is that?" And I'm like, "Dude, there's so much. I can't explain it right now without like going on and on."
Oh, there's so much.
Like there's this thing called layers. That's never something you never ever want to hear in Magic. Is there's this thing called layers, and the game keeps track of the timestamps of these effects. And it's like you never want to be in that situation.
No, it's easier just to give people like a a crash course or like be like, all right, you just want to stick to these couple things, whatever. But I mean, when it comes to producing and shit, like I understand like a lot about that kind of shit just because over the years, like, I did music production for a long time. And I mean, I still technically do. And then when we did the podcast, I was like editing that, audio stuff. Like that's just something that I know a lot of. And that's something that no one fucking understands. And so it's just so much easier. Like, I don't want to watch someone stream and the audio be shitty. I'm like, I'd rather just tell you what the problem is so you can fix it so that I can enjoy watching it. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to OBS, it's like, okay, now we're doing video bullshit. Like, yeah, I know that. I understand how that works too. Like, I'm just going to just tell you what to do because fuck this. No one, like, I don't want to show up for the friends and then them be like, why isn't the game showing? Why isn't the game? I can't, it's like an hour of that. And it's like, I can't sit here and watch this. Dude, let me just help you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just how I am.
I don't know. Well, what would you say is like the hardest thing for you? Because I was kind of thinking like streaming is the most stressful for me probably, but at the same time it's the same things that stress me out across everything I've been doing. Like even the music reaction stuff, which seems kind of simple. The when I was doing the Radiohead video that I just did, or the Sade video, there was long periods of time where I just didn't know what to say, and that pops up all over the place. Like even when I'm streaming, like sometimes I'll be doing something and I'll look and I'll see something in chat and I'm just like, I have no idea what to say to you I have no idea what you were even replying to, because like there's a delay and the delay is different for everybody. So there like I have those mental blocks all of the time, and I always wonder if it's the same for everybody or if it's just like specifically my personality.
No, okay. So first thing I want to point out, that's one of my questions that I ask the people. So thank you for bringing up one of my own questions. That's how dialed in you are. No, that's how dialed in you are about, you podcast, you know how to talk to people and all that shit. Good job. But yeah, when it comes to like, what is the most complicated thing about streaming and content creation? Obviously it's the production shit. It's the editing. It's all that stuff. It's just so fucking complicated. What's hard for people depends on the person. Like when it comes to streaming, like I think people think it's easy, right? I mean, we were just talking about DJing earlier, right? Like people are like, oh, you just hit play and it like automatically syncs, like whatever. You have a playlist, And like people think the same thing about streaming. They're like, oh, what do? You just sit in front of your computer, you play your video game, and then you just hit record. Like what? And it's like, no, bro. There's so much more to it. Like besides the technical shit, like you were just saying, like you are performing when you're streaming. Like right now, I'm not just sitting here relaxing. Like I am producing a show. I'm trying to be entertaining. You're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing happens when you're streaming. Like while that camera is rolling, no matter what it is you're doing, you're under the pressure of like, I need to be entertaining. I need to do stuff. And so of course you're going to, if you have nothing to say, you're like, I'm fucking up. This is boring.
Yeah. But what do I
say?
It's like an echo. It like starts echoing in your head. Like you are being unfunny. Yeah. You are not being entertaining. And then like it becomes harder to think, it feels like. I have a friend, I was gonna say his name. I don't know if he wants to be shouted out, but like, I had him on one of my episodes. He's like a personal friend, and he's never
Okay.
done anything like podcast, never streamed, never done anything. And
Yeah.
so he was like, yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts, YouTube. I could do this. And whenever we were done with it, he was just like, I sucked. That was terrible. And I was like, no, you're fine. We just have to talk. The moment that you're aware that you're being recorded, your brain goes into a different place. Like,
No,
it's a
and
completely different place.
it like to really relate with what you're saying, like we had to make this like, you know, we talked about how we split up our channel from one channel into 3 channels, whatever. We changed our content, all that fun stuff. Like we're like, let's make a promo video. We'll put it on the channel we're on, and then we'll put on all the channels as like an intro. So like, let's sit down and record like different parts, and we'll edit a video together. We're like, hey, we got new channels, and then another person comes in and like, hey, you know, we got this channel. You know, it's just like a recording, and it was like really the first time I had really like sat down by myself in front of just this camera and like read a script or like talked, and there was like 30 takes. I deleted most of them. You know, it's tough to be on your own and do this shit. And obviously, like with that, it's as simple as practice and continuing. If you're talking about intrusive thoughts, that's just like a esteem thing. That's like, you know, a therapy type of thing that like we all kind of have in our head, especially like people who want attention like us, people that want to stream and shit like that. So that's a little tougher to get over, but like the way I see it, it's as simple as just doing it, and then just having the confidence in yourself. Like, you've podcasted for a lot of hours, so you know what you're doing. It's just harder to not have someone to bounce off of. Like, if you're talking to someone, then you say something, they say something, then it triggers something in your brain, you say something back. It's a conversation. When you're having a conversation with yourself, even if the chat's there's no one else to talk to, so it sounds like your own brain is talking back to you and saying, you fucking suck. But, you know, you got to change that voice in your head and be like, nah, man, the way I see it, it's just stream of consciousness. Keep it going. Try not to say, I say like a lot. Apparently, we had a like counter during that big streamathon we did, and it got up to 100. All right, you know, say like a lot.
Something horrible happened?
Oh, no, nothing horrible happened, but yeah. But yeah, it's just like that kind of stuff is, I'd say that's normal. Like, don't really doubt yourself. Like, it sounds like you have like a fucking fan base. Like, you have people that show up for you almost always. You should feel good about that, because a lot of streamers sit there and stream to 0 people, and then a bot comes in and says, do you want more viewers? And then they got to ban that guy, and then they stream for another 4 hours to no one. But the biggest tip that anyone can give for streaming is always pretend like you have an audience, and like you said, just be interesting. But being yourself isn't uninteresting. If it was, then you wouldn't be on this podcast at all. I wouldn't be inviting you to be on our shit in the first place. And B, people wouldn't watch you at all or care about you. Like, just remember, you have those videos with the 10,000s of views. People like to like listen to you, and they care about what you're saying, and you are entertaining. That's what you have to do in your head, is have a third voice that says like, hey, fuck you, buddy, I'm badass. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's difficult too, because one thing that I'm most scared of, I think, is like developing an ego. Because I feel like I'm very self-conscious about like almost everything. But I'm very self-critical at the same time. So I'm afraid if I get an ego and it starts pushing that way out, I'll just turn into a horrible demon.
Yeah.
And so, because there are people that are like that. I'm lucky, I'm blessed enough to not. I don't think I've run into anyone in the 5 years I've done podcasts that's like that.
You will.
I think eventually.
It's happened.
But everyone has been super
you
cool to me.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, I think you're lucky enough to be surrounded by cool people, but I mean, I'm not going to name any names or anything like this or whatever, but I was playing, like, I was invited to like play Halo with people or some game. It might've been Fortnite. And like, there was these people in the chat that like didn't acknowledge me at all. I was just kind of there. Right. And then the whole time, all they did was talk about like, oh, dude, I'm going to do this video. It's going to get like so many fucking views. Oh, bro, dude, you remember that time I was like doing this video and like that one stream? That was cool. Like, that was like their entire personality. And it's like, obviously we're doing a podcast right now about that stuff, but I'm just saying, like, out of context, like,
Yeah.
if I'm gaming with people or hanging with people online, like, I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like trying to talk to everyone, make them feel comfortable. There are people out there that just cannot fucking shut up about themselves, and like, you're not that type of person. I don't think you'll ever
Dude,
be that type of person. You don't have to worry
it
about that shit.
it feels so bad, like pimping
Yeah,
my stuff out. It feels though it's so bad. I have to literally just dissociate. And just as soon as I do it, etch a sketch my brain. So I gotta delete the RAM so that I don't remember I did it. I just like gotta post it and then just vanish.
yeah,
Post and ghost every
yeah.
time.
Well, that's, I mean, that like earlier the real question was like, what's the hardest part about all this? You could spend so much time, so much fucking effort preparing, writing scripts, doing stuff, getting people together, putting your stuff out there and whatever a little bit. But it's like, man, for the hardest part for me is selling myself. It really is. It's just so fucking hard. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, we try really hard. It's just like, it just takes a lot. Like, you have to be like, okay, well, I have to be always on the TikTok making a side video. I have to be posting on Instagram every day. Hashtag this, doing that.
Dude,
You're putting your
content
stuff on
brain.
Reddit. You know, it just never fucking ends. And it's like so difficult to do that. Cause I feel the same way. I'm like, well, I want people to like my stuff. And I do talk about it. But then it's like, but I don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, you watch my video?
Yeah, I don't want people to feel like my friendship is dependent on them
Yes.
enjoying and consuming my content.
Or even being a
That's
part of the
scary.
content too. Like, I've run into that issue as well. It's like, you know, it's tough. That's tough. It's the problem is that making content is so accessible. And so there's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking people out there doing it. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone. Every celebrity and like 10 of your neighbors. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
It is bizarre. Oh, you want to know? Okay, so this is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me at my work. So this was the second day that I was doing my reaction stuff, and I had the video pulled up on my phone. I was listening to music on Spotify, but I had YouTube pulled up, and I left my phone sitting on the desk, and I walked across the office to like grab my mail or whatever. I don't remember what I was doing, but randomly it switched to the video, like the video that I had pulled up. And I was like, why did that happen? And I turned around and looked across the office, and my boss was standing at my desk looking down at my phone. And he probably just tapped the video because he probably saw me in the thumbnail. And he was like, what is this? And it was me like reacting to Metallica, Metallica's Ride the Lightning album.
Yeah.
And so when I was just like,
Good
oh
album.
my god, no, he's gonna ask me about it now. And I do not want to talk about myself. Like I
Yeah.
can't do it. And so I walked up to him and he's like asking me, he's like, oh, what'd you think about this song? And what'd you think about this song? And I'm just like, oh, please stop, please.
Okay.
No.
That's the biggest thing that you need to get used to, because if you can't handle that, then you can't handle any of this shit. And
Yeah,
that's
it's fucking awful.
honestly. But I know some people are kind of private about it, but like, I mean, it's weird when it's at work, you know, and you're trying to like, you know, keep things separate and
Yeah.
like, I want to stay professional and do my thing. You know, I want to have all these people on the side to do it. Like, I remember talking to Neo Aoshi kind of recently, and he was like, one of my coworkers found my fucking podcast and my content on TikTok. He's like, I saw you on TikTok, fucker. And he's like, fuck. So no one
That's not good.
likes that, but like, at least being ready to like talk about your stuff to like people, you know, not,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Like,
this kind of thing
I
is
don't know.
good too, for especially for people who are thinking about getting into content creation, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, these people have been doing it for 5 years, and well, maybe it sounds bad, but it's like, oh, they still feel this fear, so it's
Yeah.
okay that I go into it and I feel like this way because it's like pretty normal. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like when I did the episode, it's for Torchlight's coming out on Friday. Humble plug, but these and it was with the No Small Games,
Let's go.
Emily, and I'd never interacted with her really before. So every single time I have a guest and I don't really know them, I am like scared. Like I am genuinely like I do not know how. I've listened to like two of your episodes, and so I generally know how you act to your friend, but I am just a stranger. So,
Yeah.
but like there is a, like you were saying before, we're as soon as that recording starts happening, we put on like a performative face, and like we completely change into like almost a different person. It feels like
It's what you got to
even though
do.
I feel like I'm me, but yeah, so I'm like a much more personable version of me
You're playing it up.
than, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a weird thing.
But that's what they all do. And keep that in mind for like any content creator that you're a fan of out there, that like they are a real person inside of that. And what you're watching is them trying to be an entertaining version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like, parasocial relationships, like I understand them, but like, don't stalk people.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
Don't do it. It's so easy too. It's so easy
These days.
nowadays.
These days
I
it is,
basically,
yeah.
I'm Chris Reagan's best friend because I don't know if you know who that is, but he
Mm-mm.
has this podcast. He's like a pretty big YouTuber, and he has this podcast that's also a huge podcast. And I did my thing with the thumbnails. I photoshopped his face onto the Kunari from oh, what is it called? Dragon Age.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and it's Chris Ray Gun. I have no idea who Chris
Who's this
Riggins
guy?
is. He looks like
That's what I thought you said. Chris Riggins.
uh he's a comedian. It looks like COVID can't
Nice.
stop comedy. But
Chris Raygun. Oh
yeah,
yeah, it
that
popped right
guy.
up. Yeah.
There is a thumbnail of his, and it's my picture that I posted.
Nice.
And he went on a rant about how angry it made him and how he hates me. So that's good.
Perfect. That was the point.
Yeah.
Arturo in the chat says Greg Miller is not a person. He is a stack of 3 raccoons in a trench coat. That's actually a comedy bit. That's great. Fucking love Greg Miller. Yeah, man. So, cool. So, seems like you got the PC. You're streaming. Like, what's your schedule like? Are you doing like regular days? Like, what do you got going on with that?
No, absolutely not. I just stream
Sporadic.
whenever the sporadic. Well, the funny thing is I just did the album recording, and I sat down to stream. I was like, okay, finally, it's been like 4 days since I streamed. I'm gonna stream Doom, and as I was streaming Doom, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock, and in like an hour I have to do this podcast I said I was gonna do, and so yeah, my stream is just all over the place.
Nice.
And like I have a friend Amber, and she messaged me and she's like, your stream was like, as soon as I joined, like 10 minutes later you're off. Well, usually I'll stream it late into the night, and it's like, yeah, I forgot about this. I
Yeah,
shouldn't have
man.
even started the stream up.
Yeah, I've done that. Like the other day, like I had just the final boss to beat on Dark Souls 1, and so I was like, oh, I'll stream. It's a Saturday, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna beat this boss. I'm gonna stream as long as it takes, and I beat him first try. And I was like, okay, recording's over,
That's it.
and it was just a 10-minute video. I still have to post it, which is really funny.
There's something weird about that too. Like when you can't beat a boss, just stop playing. And
Oh
then
yeah.
when you come back, you almost always beat him like the second or first
Yeah.
try. And
Well, I
but
hadn't
my
even tried
I'm,
him. Like I just destroyed that bitch first try, like ever. Like it was hilarious.
yeah, that's a good feeling. I wish that
Yeah.
happened when we were playing Night Rain, and except we just had to fight him for 8 hours. No
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, but we did take him down. Fucking
And it
bitch
fucking
ass
felt
boss.
good.
Awesome, dude. So like in terms of streaming, you're streaming like video games, but then when you're doing your like your recordings for your YouTube, you don't stream those. Is that like kind of how it works? Are you streaming that stuff too?
Yeah. I want to start streaming them. I felt self-conscious about it because it's the same thing with when I'm streaming, I get nervous, and I didn't want that nervous energy to go into that recording. And the thing about the recording is if I start fucking up, if it's only been like 4 minutes, I'm like, I'll just redo this. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I haven't had to do that yet. I just don't know. It would definitely change the dynamic if people started joining in while I'm like reacting to Britney Spears. Like the people are starting to give me their favorite Britney quotes, and I'm like, oh well, now I'm paying attention to the chat a little bit.
Yeah.
And
It's different energy, for sure.
yeah, so I'm not sure if I'll start doing it, but it is always an option, I think.
Yeah. Well, now I'm in the point where I'm just trying to give the viewer like an idea of what to expect from your content. I'm like, I'm pimping you a little right now. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
Just
it.
trying to get the details.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I just make goober ass shit. Like I'm not
Yeah.
a very serious person, so I'm almost always just trying to make jokes and make light of everything if I can.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't even use like the same online handle because you think it's funny, which I
oh
respect.
my god, yeah. Which is starting to stab. It's starting to stab me in the back a
Of
little bit.
course it
But
is.
yeah, that
It's a
because
really bad idea.
it's so funny though. But
It's
yeah, so
great
you
though. I
were like
love it.
you're typing in my Xbox gamer tag, which is Guns versus Kittens, but my YouTube videos are under Guitar Tiro, and then but my so I've been playing Repo with the streamer Sari can't stream. Is it Sari can't play games? I don't know why I'm asking you because you don't know. But
Don't fucking know.
unfortunately, it's something like that. But
Yeah,
I'm playing Repo with her, and her friends call me Cream because my name is Genie Cream on
that's right.
Steam, and so everyone's calling me Cream, and then Guns, and
Yeah,
then
Guitar Tiro. Yeah.
I just get used to replying to a
Uh,
bunch of different things.
I just call you Nave, and then I just like say it's Nave, you know, because that's at
Yeah,
least consistent. It's your fucking name.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck with the word that means peasant.
Well, my name is just Bible Jesus. Basically, Jacob
Well,
Matthew Jones. That's fucking hella biblical. It's really boring.
I don't understand names because it's like I don't know what I'm gonna name my kids when
Mm.
if I have kids. Like I'm going Voltorb.
You're
Like
good. Fucking
oh man,
Voltorb and Aruman.
yeah, Voltorb Aruman Nave. Terrific. Clip that.
It's clip it, chat. Good shit. This has been a great conversation, man. Is there anything else you want to say about like all this content creation stuff, like your plans for the future, or like final thoughts? Anything fun?
Man, I can't even plan 3 days ahead. But I really do want to make a album reaction every day in June. I don't know why I made that stipulation on myself, but it's fun. So as long as it's fun,
Cool.
I'm continuing to do it. Same thing with the podcast. I greatly enjoy playing the random video games I've been exposed to because of that. I just like having fun, and I think that if you guys listening are gonna start doing content creation or like branching out in different avenues, I think it's just like go for it and see if it's entertaining to you. And if it's fun for you, it translates to the people that you're performing for, and then they start having fun.
Yeah.
I feel like people are pretty smart, and they can tell when you're being a little disingenuous or if you're not
Mhm.
feeling something. So
Agreed.
yeah,
Honestly,
that's it.
that's the best fucking advice you can give anyone. Because I totally agree. Just for the record, Gage and I both love like music and shit. So like, I've been wanting to sort of do like a side music project. Here you are doing your thing. So like, if you ever want to fucking unite and talk music
Hell
with
yeah.
either of us or react to like an album or whatever, we're collecting vinyl in this house. Gage is into a lot of shit too. He just said like he loves your Periphery beanie. He says that shit's
Oh, Periphery, hell
awesome.
yeah.
You
I got
know,
this Lorna Shore shirt
yeah,
too.
fucking
It's got
tight.
like Berserk on it.
Yeah.
RIP to
So
that guy.
just keep that in mind that you have something fun that people want to hop on with you in the future. So
I'm
good
always
shit.
trying to collaborate.
Yeah.
That's another word of advice. If you're gonna
Yes.
do, I don't know where I'm looking, but collaborate with everyone all the time. It's
Yeah.
like the most fun part.
Yeah. The more people you meet and the more we can lift each other up and like get unique voices. Again, why I just wanted to start this podcast to get more unique voices out there to talk about what they're passionate about. It's
Yeah.
just
If you're
so much
lucky, you'll
fun
get
for
someone
me.
with a lot of unique voices like me. I can go like this. I got like this voice. It's pretty awesome. You got a lot of voices.
What's your favorite accent that you could do?
Fucking an Australian, mate. I love
Hey,
talking like an Australian.
you want to do the shoey here, you fucker?
Yeah. Go do a shoey and get fucking sick and throw up everywhere. I can fight a kangaroo. Dude, there's this fucking video of I saw this video where as a kangaroo has a dog in a lake, like holding it, and this Australian guy walks up to, and as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh my god, no, what's gonna happen? And the Australian guy is just walking up to, he's like, "Oi, put my dog down, I'll punch you right in the face," and he just starts fighting.
Yeah.
He fights it. Like what?
So
Australia's
awesome.
crazy, dude.
They're the best. Yeah, I love Australia. Definitely on the bucket list to visit that place. Good shit, Nave. I want to give you one last chance to tell the people where to find you, all the shit you're doing, all the links you want in the description below that they can find there, and all that shit. You've been an awesome guest. You've been helping me steer through the questions. I don't even have to like really ask them. It's been a great conversation. Let the people know all about you, man.
Yeah, it's always fun talking to you, man. You can find me predominantly at Gaming Together on Twitter and Blue Sky. I still just go by the podcast name. And then all of the podcast catchers, it's Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. The YouTube channel, I'm just now adding video content. So now the last like 4 episodes, we've got videos there if you prefer that. Also Spotify, I'm uploading the videos to that as well.
Nice.
And if you want to see my album reactions, it's Guitar Tearo on YouTube, and I am Guitar Tearo on Twitch as well, where I am not reacting to music. I'm doing something different. I'm playing video games and sometimes chess or something. I don't know. Sometimes I'm learning Duolingo. I have ADHD.
I heard that you're learning Japanese. That's what Gage said.
Oh, it's fucking rough, dude. It's so rough. It's such a hard language.
Well, it's not just like learning words. It's like a whole other structure completely. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's like basically imagine if all emojis. This is kind of how emojis work anyway, but it's like every emoji is like the car emoji means car, but it also means run, and it also means like to be hot. And like all of those are
That's
different
kanji.
words.
That's kanji.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yikes. Well, hey, I'm sure you could do it if you could stick to it. Not really gonna happen. But you might
No.
learn a couple phrases, right? Like sugoi.
Yeah, Sugoi des. Ibu kawaii des. Sayonara.
Anata wa baka desu.
Everyone's leaving the stream.
We got to get the fuck out of here. Nave, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for showing up today, talking about this stuff. If you are interested in making your own content, you got a lot of meat to chew on here. But, you know, you could do it just like us. You just got to stick to it. You got to stick to it, and you got to actually like it. Whatever you're going to do, just like it. You know, that's all I really have to say about that. And then make sure to check out Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast everywhere. Just look that shit up. Guitar Tearo on Twitch and YouTube. Don't forget, you're on Neon Pocket Dimension right now on YouTube watching this, or if you want to watch us live Wednesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Tuesdays. We're kind of doing a lot right now with Summer Games Fest. That's twitch.tv/Neon Pocket Dimension, usually at like 7 p.m. Something's going on in his house. You could also find our gaming content on YouTube, youtube.com/@Neon Gaming Dimension. Next week is another week of Steam Next Fest, which I just realized today. So I'm going to be doing a lot of those, but upcoming this week, Summer Games Fest, all that shit's happening there. So keep it locked there. And then also don't forget about youtube.com/@Odd Valley Studios. Look at the cute dog. That's going to be all our Odd Valley Tavern show. It's going to be our comedy stuff. We're starting up an improv podcast. We have one episode on there, which you know, maybe one day you can join us for those, because that's fun. That'll also help.
Improv.
You said yeah. You said like thinking like, oh, like, you know, pausing or like not knowing what to say. Improv exercises can really help with that, you know. So.
Dude, I've always thought about taking classes, like just for fun. I mean, what could it hurt?
True, and that's what they all say. But like literally, I started that podcast because I said I don't want to take classes. I just want to look up lessons online, and we practice on that show. That's the whole point of the show. It's like we're doing our own classes to ourselves and being stupid. So, good shit, Nave. Lead us out with your favorite line from whatever bullshit's in your brain, because you said you got a lot of lines in your head.
I can't think of a line, but now I'm thinking of that part in what is that? Pain and Gain with The Rock, and he's cooking the hand in the grill. I don't know what he says, but he's like crying and like cooking it. That's what's in my head.
It's not a line, but I hope you can picture it. We'll see you next time, next week on WYBNOO. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.